Swimming in your sea, caught my eye. I don't wanna chase you all night. I wanna make you feel more than alright. Baby, please stop the make-believe, 'cause I don't wanna wait to stay the night. Staring at your face, you stare at mine. I wanna make you feel more than alive. Let it be, levitate me. Baby, please, I just want to take you higher. Come on, let me light your fire.
Friday night time for some straight talk. Hard to believe. Almost the end of February. Is this year going to just rocket by? Got snow coming in tonight, which we have hard to believe. Snow tonight. Wednesday it was 74. That's kind of weird. We've had just yo-yo weather lately. Just want to thank our sponsors out there, eat24.com. If you ain't yet, well, log on to eat24.com. Download that app for your favorite mobile device. Click, order, and eat. It's like a food truck in your pants. Really, it's just that easy. Also, hotsaucevault.com. Check out Louie at hotsaucevault.com. He's from Chi-Town. He's got hottest of the hot, wimpy for the wimp. You name it, they got it. Gag gifts. Anything for all occasions, they got it. Also, Lyft. Need to ride somewhere? Lyft just came to the Quad Cities, so check them out. LYFT, log on to Lyft, and they'll get you there. Right now in the PJ Tour, I like to start off with my golf segment here, but they're the Honda Classic, which is in Florida, and they current leaderboard right now after 2 rounds of the Honda Classic. Ryan Palmer and Wesley Bryan are tied at 9 under, and you got Ricky Fowler at 8. It's TJ. Welcome to the show, Tom Johnson. Talking a little bit about sports golf, there, buddy. So, looking at the Honda Classic is tough as that track is. When they go through that bear trap, they were talking about to former tour players about what holes were the toughest holes that they had encountered. Well, Mark Rolfing was saying like 17 the tee shot, because on different days, depending where they put the pin, it could be really tough. It's just a tough track, all around track. They had Sean Stefani. If you happen to got to see him, where he stripped down to his underwear, kind of bringing back a little memories of when Henrik Stenson did it. But he was on the 6th hole Friday. He said, hopefully my wife wasn't disappointed, Stefani said. But I was out there fighting for my family. I was fighting to make the cut. Well, unfortunately, he didn't make the cut. He shot 72, was it 70-72, and finished it even and didn't make the cut. Stefani was asked if he would consider moonlighting as an underwear model. He goes, I was wearing Calvin Klein's, he correct. Hopefully I was looking good. I've been working and going to the gym. So, yeah, it's kind of become a viral video out there. I'm sorry, but I would probably scare someone if I dropped down to my underwear. Either that or I'd probably have the police call against me. But that's not the big news. That's not what has really been went wild on Twitter, went wild in the golf news. Everybody was talking about it. Pat Perez, or Perez, however he wants to pronounce it, but he was on a radio show, and Pat Perez spoke at length about the injured Tiger Woods during his show. He said Tuesday. He said, but the story didn't gain traction until the opening round at the Honda Classic was well underway. He remained in the spotlight the following day as Perez continued to seek opportunities to clarify his on-air remarks. So, I guess there are several nuanced variables related to those specific comments, notable among them the notion that Perez may have used inappropriate tone to share an otherwise acceptable opinion. But there's no getting around the fact that Perez was faced with an avalanche of criticism in the days since. Culminating with his Instagram post that he claimed his comments were taken out of context. It says, granted, some of those contexts sped past the part of his rant where he lauded Woods' accomplishments, and others pointed to Perez's own playing record as to disqualify him from holding or sharing an opinion. You know, I think it was how he brought it out and how he talked about it was the biggest thing. Where he, when he first came out and talked about it, CJ, welcome to the show. When he first started talking about Tiger, it sounded like he was a little bit bitter that he was even making a chance to try to come out and play. He goes, oh, a guy like Tiger doesn't shoot 77. And they made it to the fact where it sounded like he can't beat anybody. What's he even doing out here? I think Tiger will get it straightened out. As long as his back gets healthy to where he feels comfortable and he doesn't have back spasms. Rogerio, welcome to the show. Welcome to chiming in from Brazil. That's awesome. But you know, to have, you know, the comments that he made, and a lot of people really, you know, I mean, I haven't heard anything. Tiger hasn't said anything about it yet. At least not that I've heard. You know, and people have come to defend Tiger and just all out attacked Pat Perez. Well, I mean, Len, welcome to the show. You know, to hear, you know, some of the comments that Pat Perez made are legit. Where, you know, he's saying that Tiger's not playing well right now, and that's true. Will Tiger be to where he was? You know, where he won 14 majors and was dominating everything? Probably not. I don't think there'll ever be I don't think there'll ever be a player that's to the level of Tiger Woods. And I don't mean that, you know, there's a once in a lifetime or once in a every 10 years or 20 years. Tiger is one of those guys that has done. They were talking about his scoring average and how long he was number one. He held the number one ranking for 8 years combined. That's impressive. But for him to be healthy and then for Pat Perez to sit there and come out and say that, I mean, Pat Perez wouldn't say that about Nicklaus when he was, if Nicklaus come out and tried to play. I mean, not Nicklaus now, of course, because Jack wouldn't try to come out and play now. But I think Tiger, if he got his game going, he could do it. I just think he needs to be healthy. And when you don't feel comfortable about your back, I know what I've had. I had a rotator injury, and you just are afraid every time you impact that rotator is going to hurt. Something's going to happen. I've had back spasms playing golf. Right now, Michelle Wee is battling back spasms. When you get to that and you feel like, you know, you're not sure, all of a sudden it's going to kick in. Well, it feels good. Probably the worst pain I ever had. Ever. I've had to have root canals. I've had, you know, stuff like that. I broke my hand, had surgery on that. But I think the worst pain I ever had is when I dislocated my tailbone. And I didn't even know it was possible to do that. But to have back spasms, you have that fear that it's going to be there lingering. Anytime you have anything done with your back, it's that scare. You get that. Oh my God, am I going to be paralyzed, or is this nerve pain going to kick in the middle of my swing, or something like that? And they walk up and down golf courses that are not flat. They look like they're flat on TV, but they're not. So it's a lot of work. I'm hoping that he needs to do his, get healthy and shut up all the naysayers. That's what I would like to see happen. He's great for the game of golf. When Pat Pettis comes out and talks about it, and I was, usually you don't hear too many tour players, though, come out and speak out against, other players like that. I was kind of surprised, because usually they just, maybe had a little couple cervezas or something like that, and maybe it'd come out. But I'm just like, yeah, sometimes you can overload. Hank, welcome to the show. I was want to talk about not necessarily pet peeves, but funny things or weird things that happen at a golf course. And some are pet peeves, some aren't. But some are things that happen when working at a golf course. You run into weird things. You run into weird phone calls. I had one we've been open a week, and we're not normally open in February. And so I answered the phone, and the guy, all you can hear is the guy in the background going, "You mother," and he's cussing. He's in traffic driving, and he's having road rage. He's driving down the road, and you can hear him, "What are you doing? The whole line of cars is open there, you mother," and he's just cussing up a storm. And of course, you got to listen to it for about 15, 20 seconds to see what's going on. But, he was going off on whoever it was, and I finally hung up. But he was probably in the process of calling for a tee time, and then didn't realize he got through, and he was going off on whoever it was. I saw a video of a road rager, not to be changing subjects too much, but the guy was honking at a guy from behind. He pulled up alongside him, and he started cussing him out. Well, the guy was videoing himself when the guy pulls up alongside him, and he's cussing at him, and he flips him off. And the guy says, "Pull over, you mother. We'll go, I'll fight you right here." And the guy pulls out a gun like this, and you see the car lock up and just disappear going backwards. So, yeah, when they start pulling guns, that's when it gets a little too overboard. Got to watch it, You might sit there and honk at somebody or flip somebody off or do something, and who knows? The way they are nowadays, they pull out guns and they handle the things a little differently. People can't take having somebody flip them off and just drive on. One of the kind of a irritating pet peeve or things you see at the golf course is people call at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they'll say, "Hey, do you got anything around 9?" And you're like, seriously, really? It's a Saturday or something like that. We're swamped. And nope, nobody's playing golf. Yeah, you're the only one who wanted to play. Yeah, people. And I understand maybe you're getting a cancellation, but I mean, if you call up and say, "Hey, have you had any cancellations this morning?" But I'm like, the call up and think you're going to get a tee time an hour before it on us, and then people are irritated because they didn't get it. I've had that before. And another one, guy walks in the shop and they go, "Hey, you got any demos?" And what they're doing is all they want to do is they want to try out a driver. They don't plan on buying it. They just want to hit a brand new driver. So, yeah, I used to get that all the time. So I stopped carrying demos because it was pointless because people would come in and try to just use them and they had no intentions of buying one. I always laugh as people go, they'll try it from me and then they'll go buy it somewhere else at like the box stores or whatever, or they'll buy it online and I'm like, our price is going to be about the same because I can't price it up any higher because I'll never sell it. But these are some actual calls received at at public golf courses. It says, the guy answers, the golf course answers the phone, may I help you? Caller says, what are your green fees? It says $38. The caller goes, does that include golf? You know, you just kind of like, I had a kid who worked for me. I call him a kid. He's not. He's probably in his mid-30s now. Eric, welcome to the show. And he would sit there and stand. He was standing right in front of me, and somebody called on the phone. He answered it. And he goes, hold on a second, puts him on hold, and he just kind of sits back, and he crosses his arms and just sits back for about, 15, 20 seconds, and he grabs the phone, and he goes, nope, nothing closer. And then the guy asked him another question, and said, hold on a second, puts him on hold, and he kicks back again, and after he got off the phone, I go, what are you doing? And he goes, well, the guy asked a stupid question. He's getting put on hold. And I'm like, what? Well, apparently, the guy asked for a 1 o'clock tee time. And guy who worked for me told me he had 12:52 and 1:07, which is the one before and the one after. And he said, nothing closer to 1. And he was like, hold on, and put him on hold, because he goes, if I tell you it's the one before and the one after, it's a stupid question. He goes, you're getting asked a stupid question. He goes, you're getting put on hold. And I was like, never heard that before. But yeah, I've had people where they call up on a 1 o'clock tee time, and you say you got the one before, and he goes, nope, that's too early. And you got the one after, nope, that's too late. And I'm like, how can the one 7 minutes after be too late? You're still going to be on the golf course that 7 minutes later anyway. So, I don't know. I don't know how you can micromanage your time that well. If you can, while you're on the golf course, you're really good. Here's another golf course. May I help you? It says, I need to get some information from you. First, is this your correct phone number? And you just kind of like want to shake your head and go, you called me. Another one is the golf course answers the phone. He goes, yes, we have a tee time for 2 weeks from Friday. What's the weather going to be like that day? Yeah, I've had people ask me, you know, what's the weather going to be like in next Thursday or something like that. And I'm like, I have no idea. You know, it's the hardest thing. Heck, they can't even forecast the weather 4 days in advance, let alone not me forecast it. So, it says, it says golf guy answers golf course. Can I help you? He goes, yes, I had a tee time for this afternoon, but I'm running late. Can you still get me out early? Yeah, some things that I always love the golfer. You know, the easiest way to tell a golfer that's, well, I wouldn't say not a good player, because I don't know, but I mean a guy that doesn't play a lot. Guy will come out to the golf course, doesn't have a tee time, and he's got his glove on. He thinks he's at the golf course, he has to be wearing the glove all the time. No, I just don't. It's not a. I don't wear it except for it when it's really hot. So, yeah, you see a lot of people that they think I'm at a golf course. Well, that's part of the attire. I got to wear it. I actually, if I don't have to, I won't wear one. Joanna, welcome to the show. We have, there was a kind of a funny story where one of the guys that works for me witnessed this. He says a guy bought a hot dog, and he went into the bathroom, and he's standing at the urinal eating a hot dog, and the guy who worked for me walked in to the restroom, and there was a guy in the toilet taking a crap, and he's standing there at the urinal eating a hot dog, and he's like, he said he had to turn around and walk out. He's ready to get sick. Some people, doesn't faze him about anything. I'm just like, oh, that's just, that makes you want to just, ugh, that's gross. We have, what do we got to talk about tonight? Oh, we had 37 years ago today is the actual Miracle on Ice. I don't know if people remember that or go that far back. They had when USA beat Russia. I remember that. I was at a basketball game when they announced that, because we didn't have the social media and cell phones and everything like they do nowadays. So, yeah, it was a pretty monumental feat. I think I was at my brother's basketball game, and they announced it. I remember everybody, just a huge cheer in the crowd. Really kind of cool. I remember, that's just one, thing you remember when you're from when you're younger. If you want to interact with the show, we got our new 1-800 number. It's 1-800-508-5431. And I'm should be set up taking calls right now if you want to call in. We had apparently this is how it's worded out that North Korea, when it killed his half-brother, apparently they said Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, this is where it happened. For years, North Korea has rattled the world with its nuclear test and its threats to visit a nuclear holocaust upon the United States. Now the finding by Malaysia police that Kim Jong-nam was assassinated with a VX nerve agent is a stark reminder of North's lesser-known weapons of mass destruction, a stockpile of chemical and biological weapons. It says Mr. Kim, the estranged elder brother of North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un, was killed on February 13th when two women rubbed his face with the nerve agent. So that sounds a little weird. Something like you see out of one of those spy movies or whatever like that. You don't normally hear too much of that. They have Sally, welcome to the show. How you doing, Sally? And David, welcome to the show. Hopefully I'm going to not cut my... I'm going to do is bump some stuff off of here because I'm... says I'm... Viewers are waiting. Please come back. There we go. I must have paused it there for a second. They were saying my storage was getting full, and I'm like, how can I don't have anything on my iPad mini for my storage to get full. So whatever. Sally, I was surprised you didn't come out. Howdy from Jamaica. Wow, awesome. David, welcome. Hello to you from the United States. Weird. I figured would have seen Sally last week golfing, but apparently the ladies have not made it out yet. Hopefully soon. Early kind of year, starting in February. We've already had multiple days in the 70s, which it's not normally this warm. And tonight, we're supposed to get 1 inch to 2 inches of snow. So we're going from being 70-some degrees to 30 tomorrow for a high. Yeah, still winter time. A lot of people still, they were like thinking, oh, we're open for the year. Yeah, the sprinklers weren't on. No, they're on, but it's God's sprinklers. It's called rain. We had that earlier today. There were some people out playing in that. I wondered if you happen to see Sean Stefani on the PGA Tour. If you go online, Sally, you can see where he stripped onto his underwear to hit a golf shot at the Honda Classic. So if you no, he wasn't running through the sprinklers or anything, but he was hitting a water shot out of one of the ponds. I tell you what, down in Florida, I'm not sure if I'd want to go in any of those ponds, and the reason why is because I'm not a big fan of alligators. I'm sorry, but There's a reason they look prehistoric. They've been around a long time. They, go on there. You can see him. He was wearing his Calvin Kleins, and I'm sure the ladies enjoyed it. But they have this in Southern California. Like, they're having not enough problems already. Southern California has been having all kinds of problems with rain. They had the problem with Oroville Dam. But this is kind of weird. In Southern California, they had, this came out of the Los Angeles CBS local affiliate out there. It said that an angry swarm of bees stung a Norco woman's beloved dog more than 300 times, killing it. The dog's 3 puppies were also killed in the attack. It says, officials believe the dog somehow aggravated the bees when they attacked. The property owner's son told crews he was also stung by the bees from several hives weeks ago. He was moving a trailer when he saw the hive. After being stung, he said it felt like he was hit with a bat. The bees came out and started stinging everybody. He says, I pushed my sister aside, then the dog started getting bit. They started to sting me, and I just started catching them and killing them with my hands. He said, they got me pretty good. They got me like 30 times. The one girl, apparently they had a young girl was wrapped in a blanket and rescued from the scene. You know, I've been stung before. I think the worst I've been stung with is got stung by a hornet. And, I mean, they're pretty good size, you know, and, I can't imagine having something that's, keeps stinging you over and over and over like that. Those, you always hear about those Africanized bees or African bees, the killer bees, they call them. And they're so aggressive. That would be kind of freaky to run into those. But I had the hornet sting me in the leg one time. My God, did that hurt. I remember I was a young kid, and I was at my grandparents'. This is in Williamsburg, Iowa. And I don't know what it was. I was just walking along. Next thing I know, I started limping. Felt it sting me. And it was so fast. And my sister carried me back to my grandparents' house. It was like a couple blocks away. And they got me back there, and my dad thought I was faking. And he grabbed a hold of my leg and started pumping it like the old water spigots where you pump it to get water. And when I started shrieking, that's when he figured out I wasn't joking. So I remember before that, and that's it. I don't remember anything after that. I must have blocked it out. I don't remember the ride home. I don't remember anything. The ride home is like 2.5 hours or whatever. So I'm like, it just, I must have blocked it out or something. Must have been the pain, but that's just weird. I said, made a believer out of him right away, right after he grabbed my leg and started to pump it like it was a water spigot. So, speaking of other dogs, this is a kind of a sad story. They said there was a pup recovering from a heroin overdose in Texas. Texas Police Department shared a photo of a tough pup recovering after it was found suffering from heroin overdose in its owner's truck. The Carrollton Police Department said in a Facebook post, the young dog was found suffering from a heroin overdose on the floorboard of its owner's truck in a Home Depot parking lot, while its humans were busy inside switching price tags. Nice owners. It says the canine was taken to North Texas Emergency Clinic, and where the dog was treated for overdose. The humans were arrested for heroin possession and for fraudulent destruction, removal, and concealment of writing. Puppy is on its way to full recovery from opiate overdose and back in the care of the City of Carrollton Animal Adoption Center. Imagine somebody... Why would you do is shoot your dog up with heroin? What is wrong with somebody like that? I don't know. Some people are just really have no care about anything. Speaking of other, you got these people that drive through. You got red light cameras and everything like that. They're kind of a ironic story come out. This is funny because it's so stupid, to think about this. But a driver stopped at a traffic light in China was recorded leaning out of his window of his van and using a slingshot to take out the traffic camera. Says the CCTV traffic camera footage shows the man in his light blue minivan seen reaching for a slingshot out of the van's window and using it to shatter the lens. It said, impressive shot earned an arrest from the local police. He told officers that he lost his temper. He had been waiting for a long time for the light to change. Yeah, that's a good reason. So, they've had people where they get caught running a red light or whatever, and then they go back and then they destroy the camera, like rip it down, thinking that's actually going to stop when they don't realize that it's already wired into the department. It's too late. They're already screwed, And then they probably have video of them tearing it down. So, not the brightest bulb in the pack. Yeah. It says, a Scottish neighborhood, going kind of a little bit worldly here, is using hair dryers in its local community there to deter speeding drivers. Residents of the neighborhood in Scotland have armed themselves with hair dryers and reflective vests to combat speeding drivers. People in the village of Hopeman posed as police officers using speed guns to prevent speedy drivers who have placed residents in danger by exceeding the speeds of 60 miles an hour along a stretch of road leading out of the area. It says it's very dangerous. That speed that the traffic is doing through Hopeman is quite serious, especially when the kids are going to school in the morning. It's quite alarming. The members of the neighborhood have also taken to other strange measures, such as propping ladders against walls to allow children to pass between back gardens rather than cross the dangerous straightaway. The main worry is crossing the road, the main busy road through Hopeman, and the people just don't slow down when they enter the village. Yeah, people are... we have it all the time. We have school zones here, and they're 25, and they're, I want to say they're 7 to 5, and you slow down for a school zone, and people blow past you, and when they blow past you, they give you the old, hello, how are you? The one finger salute. I love it when the speed van's out. So, gets them a little ticket. That's always a good deal. They have Facebook. Facebook is Mark Zuckerberg has been has a pledge to talk to more people. Apparently, he's on a tour where he has spent 3 days in Alabama starting on Sunday as part of a resolution to talk to more people from each of the 50 states. On Monday night, the 32-year-old billionaire grabbed dinner at a Birmingham restaurant, Ovenbird, with his wife Priscilla Chan. So, but the problem is, that's not the big story. He says Zuckerberg may have been out and about in Alabama as part of the tour to talk to more people about how they're living, working, and thinking about the future. But he was with his wife Priscilla Chan and had no desire to talk to anyone on Monday night. While dining in Birmingham restaurant Ovenbird with his team calling ahead to instruct the staff, take no photos, and refrain from speaking to him during his meal. Said the Facebook founder kicked the things off by spending the afternoon with a shrimp boat captain in Mobile on Sunday, and in 3 days since has spoken with former death row inmates Anthony Ray Hinton, the staff of Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, famed college football coach Nick Saban, and a handful of athletes and students at the University of Alabama. But the restaurant was asked to seat the 32-year-old billionaire in a private room that separated him from the fellow diners as a request that seems to defeat the purpose of his visit to the state. So, yeah. Apparently, also, Zuckerberg was back in a more social and jovial mood. The next night, however, while out to dinner in Mississippi with an Oscar-winning actor Morgan Freeman, maybe it's perhaps because Oscar-winning actor Morgan Freeman picked up the tab for the group, according to the waitress. So he's a 32-year-old billionaire, and he didn't even buy. But, yep, put us in a separate room because we would like to be alone. Oh, but we're here to meet the common folk. Yeah. And speaking of restaurants, and I'm like going, what the heck? Why would you even do this? It was an article that came out on CNBC, and it was written by Robert Frank. And it says, he goes, before I took my first bite of the Fleur Burger, the Fleur Burger 5000, I was one of those people who thought paying $5,000 for a hamburger was both obscene and insane. Because after all, the top-of-the-line burger from Shake Shack or In-N-Out costs less than $10. And they don't get much better than that. That's what he said. I've never had Shake Shack or In-N-Out, so I'll just take his word for it. But I found myself in the kitchen of Fleur chef Hubert Keller's restaurant at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Said I watched Keller quickly sear a patty of Wagyu beef, $100 a pound. Wow. And douse it over and over again with rich butter, sealing in the flavor and the juice. Then I watched him sear a few slabs of prime foie gras, $45 a pound, and combined the duck fat with more butter and saute a mound of sliced back black truffles, $1,500 a pound. Wow. After that, Keller carefully layered the 3 ingredients on a freshly baked, brioche bun. Val would probably be able to, she'd probably be laughing at me how I'm trying to pronounce some of this stuff. But the top ingredient, and the main reason for its price, it was poured rather than cooked. A bottle of 1995 Petrus? Said, which can often sell for more than $5,000 in restaurants, comes with the burger as perfect pairing. Said, with wine in hand, he said, I lifted the earthly, oozing Fleur burger to my mouth and took the first bite. And for the first time ever on Secret Lives of the Super Rich, I was completely at a loss for words. My exact quote on camera was, "Oh wow, oh my God." He goes, would I pay $5,000 for a Fleur burger? Absolutely, if I were a billionaire. He says, and others agree. Herbert has already sold 28. I'm like, $5,000 for a burger. Oh, I guess when money means nothing, $5,000 is nothing. Well, like they used to give Michael Jordan a hard time for gambling. You know, like for Michael Jordan to lose 20 grand gambling is like me going out and losing, $20. He's so wealthy. They're in a different category. But five grand for a burger. Would I like to try it? Hell yeah. Would I like to pay for it? No. I'd like to have one on the house, of course. That would be nice. It says Apple is apparently investigating, and not Apple as in, Apple the phone company or technology company, is investigating an exploding iPhone 7 after a video. It says apparently the footage posted on Twitter by an 18-year-old from Tucson, Arizona, shows smoke pouring out of one side of the iPhone and the case melting away. It says, dude, what the F? You can hear him saying in the background, are you effing serious right now? And the phone is sitting on the edge of a sink and just melting. He said the video has already been viewed more than 1 million times, garnered a swift reaction on Twitter with more than 25,000 retweets and hundreds of replies. I've had problems with and they show a real close-up picture. He goes, the next morning I was asleep with my phone charging next to my head. My boyfriend grabbed the phone, put it on the dresser. She told the tech site. He went into the restroom. From the corner of his eyes, he saw my phone steaming and heard a squealing noise. By the time he got over to the phone, it had already caught fire, and he quickly grabbed the phone and threw it in the restroom. As soon as he threw it in the restroom, it blew up with more smoke coming out of the phone. That is crazy to see these phones, the way things are going on with them right now with these batteries. So another issue is a woman claims her iPhone 6 exploded in her pocket and burst into a ball of flames. The incident brings, into mind all the Galaxy Note 7 recalled last year after handsets began bursting into flames. So I don't know if they're going to have to do something with these lithium-ion batteries. They're too dangerous. Cars causing fires and stuff like that. I guarantee you Apple is going to be all over this trying to cover this early. My biggest problem with mine is I have my phone, and you'll feel it at times. It'll get hot, and then times it's normal. Like right now, it's just sitting here. It's not hot, whatever. It's nice and cool. But it'll get down to the battery life. It'll get down to like right around 40%. And then all of a sudden it'll just shut off. And the only way you can get it back is you have to plug it in to start charging it. And immediately, I don't know, it's like stuck at that 40% or 38%, where it won't go below that. I mean, and it'll just immediately just shut down. So they got some issues with it. They have right now. They had a, the phone companies right now are looking. They're having a, what do you call it? Where they get together. They have not a fair. It's kind of like a. They call it the World Congress in Barcelona, in northern Spain. They have an all kind. It said phone makers will seek to seduce buyers with artificial intelligence functions and other innovations as the world's biggest mobile fair starting Monday. Fair, that's what I was looking for. Monday in Spain, along with launches of new smartphones from major players like Huawei and LG, and two former giants like Nokia and BlackBerry, will attempt to make a comeback with new devices. Nokia is reportedly set to reveal several new devices at the 4-day Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, northeastern Spain, including an updated version of its iconic 3310 phone. Says BlackBerry will debut its high-end device, rumored to be called the Mercury. Like Nokia, its new phones were made under license by Chinese manufacturer. It said, don't expect innovations on smartphones hardware, but instead a focus on emerging technologies like virtual reality, kind of like, the virtual reality headsets. You see those? Artificial intelligence, AI. He says Samsung Electronics, which had to discontinue its Galaxy Note 7 smartphone last year after several cases of the devices exploding, will not unveil any new phones at the Congress. The delay in putting a new phone comes as its parent firm, South Korean conglomerate Samsung Group, is caught up in a corruption scandal that saw the chief arrested last week. Samsung is the world's biggest seller of smartphones, but it saw its share of the world's market shrink by 2 full percentage points to 20.5%, according to the Gartner consultancy. It faces growing competition from Chinese phone makers on the side, and on the other side, the U.S. titan Apple, which released its iPhone 7 in September. So you think about these phones with new technology. Well, with all these technology things that are coming out, this is what's so, they're coming out where they actually can add on telescoping lenses and different things like that. That's what's so cool about it. Where they can also project screens up on the wall and things. I mean, to be able to do things like that with your phone, that's what's cool. Fred Davis, welcome to the show. They, you look at the different things that happen in technology. Well, they have a gentleman that came out, and there's a story written about him where he was doing the virtual reality glasses, and he lost 50 pounds playing a virtual reality game. They were talking about Pokemon Go, how it got people out of the house and were walking in. I mean, of course, Pokemon Go is not to the level like it was when it first launched, but there's still a few people out. They released some new Pokemons, I guess, recently, and people are going out and starting to do that again. But there was days where you couldn't find a spot at the park because there were so many people doing Pokemon. I mean, it was crazy. I'd never seen it. The craze of it was unbelievable. But it said virtual reality gives you the chance to experience new worlds, play the most immersive gaming experience available to modern consumers, or even some indoor exercise. Some pretty darn effective exercise, it turns out. One HTC Vive, V-I-V-E, owner has managed to lose more than 50 pounds over the past 5 months by regularly playing a game on his VR headset. In an interview, he explained how he lost 50 pounds playing VR game Soundboxing. Soundboxing is a game that lets you select a video via YouTube that plays on your VR headset screen. The game then projects objects that fly at you to the beat of the music. The aim of the game is to punch each one of those objects while you hold a pair of controllers in your hand. It says, when he first started out, I spent like 20 minutes in the headset. 20 then became 25. Then 25 became 45. 45 became an hour. And sometimes an hour become 90 minutes. He said he eventually bought a set of 1 pound weighted gloves, which may not sound like much, but he made workout sessions even harder by forcing him to engage his upper body more. And last week he translated some serious weight loss. And they show a picture of him from one to the other. It says, he said, Stauffer began his journey after hitting more than 300 pounds on the scale. He was experiencing regular headaches and other health ailments, and his doctor essentially gave an ultimatum. You need to start losing weight, or you could die. Unable to start jogging outside due to extra weight, and their serious impact it would have on his joints, and unmotivated unmotivated by the idea of hitting the gym, Stauffer, who works in the video game industry, decided to give some VR-based workouts a try. Soundboxing ended up being a natural fit. So it's fun, it's fast-paced. As long as you put in the time, it's really works. Sounds like a pretty cool idea. I don't know if you've ever done any of these virtual reality things like that. They're actually pretty cool to get in to do. They have virtual reality roller coasters, virtual reality things like that. I've done some of the virtual reality where you're moving around. Just you have to make sure that you're in a spot where you're not going to is either have somebody walk by you and you have enough room to where if you do the boxing game where you're not going to punch a wall or something. We used to do, when I was going up through the levels of in Taekwondo and my belts, what my instructor would do is have us do our forms with your eyes closed. And to do your kick and do your punches with your eyes closed in a form that might have, I think one of the first forms we did had 18 movements. And it has several kicks and a lot of different punches and stuff. And to trust that you're not going to kick someone or something. And it was designed to make sure that you actually, you're in going the same direction where you think you are. So yeah, it's pretty wild to do. They have I would love to do the VR thing. I think it'd be cool. They have better and better ones. I want to get one that works really well with actually the iPhone 6, which is the one I have. I don't like the iPhone. I think it's a 6 Plus, might be. The things are gigantic. It's like it's almost about maybe half the size of my iPad Mini. I'm like, if I want an iPad Mini to talk on the phone, I would use it. But yeah, that's just too big. And I'm kind of a techie. I like the different tech stuff that comes out. I got one of the I don't have it here. I was going to do show what it is. It's the Samsung or Samsung. I want to say it's Samsung, but it's the small little headsets, and they go into each ear. Really cool because you can actually either one. Like if you want to just take one of them, and you can tap it, and it has an actual hard drive in each one of them. So if you only want to take one of them, you can answer phone calls with it. You can play. You can store music on it. They work together, but when you do it, you have to load the music on both of them if you're going to use both ears, I guess. And so they both fit in your ears. They sit really well in there. You tap them once, and it'll play the music. Tap it once, it'll stop. Tap it 2 times, and it'll go to the next song. it's really cool. It's a neat headset. I really like it because it fits in well. And if you're working out, it's not going to go falling out. That's pretty cool. They have. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's. I think it's a Samsung. It's made by Samsung, but hopefully the batteries doesn't blow up in my ear. That's. Yeah, you think about all these technology stuff. They're talking about these dolls that if you get them, that they can be hacked into and they can spy on your kids. That's freaky. That's a little freaky. Tonight they were even talking on the TV that if you have on the news that if you have one of these new smart 4K TVs, that you have you need to go into the administrator functions of it to make sure that they're not actually tracking you. That's weird. So there was a report out. One of the last few stories we got here, but a report out that witches are actually casting a spell on Donald Trump. He says those who don't like Donald Trump and the current Republican administration are mobilizing in all sorts of ways. They're speaking up in town halls, and they're calling representatives. They're organizing protests and demonstrations, and for the magically inclined, they're casting spells. Starting at midnight on Friday, witches around the country are calling for a massive spell to be cast on Donald Trump every night of a waning crescent moon until he's driven from office. The spell would be publicized by Michael M. Hughes, who told Elle that it was tweaked from multiple spells he saw going around private witchcraft groups. He published it on Extra News feed because he felt it would be welcome to a lot of people. It quickly spread, and events being formed around the country in support on social media. So, witches beware. So, he says Hughes explained that he chose a binding spell because they're not wishing harm on anyone. We're just trying to stop the harm they're doing. It's not the equivalent of punching a Nazi in the face. It's the equivalent of tying him up and taking his bullhorn away. So, we'll see what happens from that. They have also, there's a really cool video out. I watch dodgeball with my son. He gets a real big kick out of it. Well, there's a video that's gone viral about she's a softball pitcher, and her dodgeball skills are unbelievable because she does that wind up and throws it, and she just launches it at people. And it's been viewed I don't know how many times, but she just laying out her competition. The one girl, she hit her in the stomach and doubled the girl over, and the person behind the camera is laughing so hard in the video about how hard she really throws it. Another story went out talking about witches and weird stuff like that. Well, there's a story of what do you call metal yoga. I had never heard of metal yoga before, but apparently this yoga class is inside a satanic temple in Salem, Massachusetts. Speaking of witches before, well, they're metal music and yoga does not seem like things that go together too often. Well, it's like apparently they're charging $15 a class, and they're doing says Black Widow Yoga has been pulled together. The class on its Facebook page, Black Widow Yoga, describes it as independent yoga concept that uses metal music instead of traditional yoga music. I don't know if you've ever done yoga. Yoga is like punishment. It's nasty. But let's see here. What do we got? Oh, we got one of the last stories for the night. We had, shop owner finds his door to his shop shattered. And he can't figure out what, he thought vandals did it or whatever. So he goes back and he checks the security camera, only to find out that it was a dog chasing a cat that shattered his door. So, pretty wild to think that. So, it is that time of the night. Last one had a wet cement picture there, and a kid, you can see it, he was riding a scooter, and he wiped out, and you could see where the scooter plant and the hand and face plant are all in the wet cement. So, kind of a funny little picture that was out there. But it's that time of the night. We're fast hour. Everybody have a great night, great weekend. Be safe. If you're up in the upper Midwest, be safe. Got the blizzard going through. Going to be real nasty in upper, like Minnesota and upper Iowa and stuff there. So be safe, drive safe, and we'll see you back on Monday.